Good morning, everyone. It's me, Ari Dusset, or you just call me Rashid, that's fine too. And here I am with another live stream. And in this live stream, we'll talk about bending time. But before I continue, please let me know if you can hear me clearly. It's quite important for you to hear me clearly because it wouldn't be of any use for me to use the whiteboard to teach you, but you can't hear me clearly. All right? So let me see what's all here. Please let me know in the comment section whether you can hear me clearly or not. Let's see if I should. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I should turn on the lights, but let me see. Let me turn on the lights. I think that's a better thing. Les Brown is here. Maria Garcia is here. Okay, you can all hear me clearly. That's good. There are more people in the live stream I can see. So please, when you're here, let me know in the live chat you're here, please. Thank you very much. Okay, Feline is here. I'm glad you're here, Feline. All right. Listen, one thing. If you haven't watched my videos about sexual health and the sexual design of the Heavenly Father, please watch those. But I'm going to briefly elaborate on it again, right over here. So I'm going to bring the camera a bit closer to here so I can focus on, hold on this over here. Yeah, that over there. I want to focus on for now to teach you. This is male, this is female. Okay, so let me write it down. This is Adam, this is Eve. Okay, my goodness. Eve. Okay, I wrote it well. Eve. Now, male and female. The male is built different than the female. Not only biologically, also as to the core, they're built differently. The male energy field is more dense, you can see over here. You see here's the soul in the chest. It's always located here in the chest. That's where the soul is. And with the male, his life source is what we call the sex drive. It's what's driving him psychologically and physically. That's the sex drive. With a female, it's not built with a drive, she's built with urges. So a woman has feminine urges, that's the life source with her. And the male, because he's magnetic, he has like this magnetic fire, and that's what we call the sex drive. And it emits throughout his energy fields and through his human body. The female has sticky urges, and that's why energy field is like a sponge. So she just give up vibrations, but she gives up shocks here and there. All right. So that is the basic difference in males and females to the core. All right. Now, why is it important to understand this? Because all of our human existence is based on this right over here. Adam and Eve, male and female made he them. That's all what God did. So if you don't understand this about human life, you are messed up. You miss out on a lot of good knowledge. If you don't understand this, you're messed up. A lot of people say that women have sex, right? I'm sorry, they don't. They have feminine urges. Simple as that. They say men have urges when it comes to sex. No, men have a drive. Okay, so get the thing straight first. All right. Now, we have discussed this over and over again. Okay, the life source comes from the soul, which is the energy center in the chest. All right. Now, as a human being, you need to understand the following. There's no such thing as saying no. You'll say, what, Rashid? What are you saying? There's no such thing as saying no? Okay. I'm going to show an example above. Well, you know what? Let me draw this down here and show it over here. Okay. Let's say you have an island. Okay. There's the water. There's the sea. There's an island over here. Clouds in the sky. Okay. Let's say you're on this side of the island. This is where you are. At the other side here, there's some wild bears. And this is you. Question. Can you deny the existence of the wild bears? Let me know in the live chat. Just asking a question. Can you deny the existence of the wild bears? Just asking you a simple question over here. Let's say you're here on an island. and at the other side there are wild bears. Can you deny the existence of those bears? Let me know. I'm waiting for your answers. Can you deny the existence of those wild bears? Nope, you cannot. Because the wild bears are there whether you want it or not. If you're not aware that there are wild bears over there, okay, that's one thing. If you're not aware of it. But the thing is, whether you're aware of it or not, there are wild bears over there. Those wild bears, they hunt on other animals, they eat the food in nature over there. So the wild bears are devouring most of the food on this side of the island. That means it's going to be less food on the island available to you. So whether you're aware of the wild bears being there or not does not matter. The effect of it is still there. So for you to deny the existence of the wild bears means you are delusional. That's what saying no is. You deny the existence and the effect of something you don't want. It's quite dumb, really. But we human beings keep doing this over and over again. Look, this is one island, okay? Now, if it's raining on the island, okay? Let's say it's raining everywhere. Can you say no to the rain? I'm asking a question. Can you say no to the rain that's falling on the island? Let me know. Just waiting for a quick answer. Okay, got one answer ready. You can't say no to the rain because the rain's still falling anyway. What you can do is to engage in the situation and say, you know what? Even though I don't want to get wet by the rain, what I'm going to do is, there's rain falling, I'm going to put on an umbrella. You walk around with the umbrella. In this case, you're still engaged, which is realistic. The rain's falling anyway, but now the rain doesn't affect you that much. You're still engaged in the situation. And we human beings are built to be engaging in life. Because if you say no to the rain, the only thing you can do is hide inside somewhere, but the rain's still falling. Only happens now is that you are now restricted. You're now in. Okay, I need to get a bit closer to write this down. You are in bondage. You're bound. Let's say it's raining outside, and you don't want to deal with the rain, and you go and hide in a cave. You're still on the island, and it's still raining outside, and the rain will still affect the temperature in the cave. So you're still affected by the rain. Instead of engaging with the rain by wearing an umbrella, I mean, if you want to stay inside because it's raining, you can stay inside and enjoy the sounds of the music of the rain. You can do that too. But if you just go into a cave because you don't want to deal with the rain, you end up in bondage in that cave. And you're still affected by the rain anyway. Now, human beings have the tendency, due to the fall of Adam, to hold on to bondage. And they begin to perceive bondage as their right. And then want to enforce this bondage around them. They call it boundaries. Boundaries is when you enforce a bondage you put yourself in because you don't want to deal with reality around you. That's what boundaries are. Simple as that. So we human beings are designed to engage. We're not designed to just refuse reality. Now, and by the way, if you refuse reality, it will never go well anyway. You can decline something. For example, if it's raining, you can decline the impact of the rain by engaging the rain in a proper way. The rain is still falling, but the rain is not making you soaking wet. You're engaging. You're still fully engaged. You're just declining the heavy rainfall. Let's say there are wild bears over here. And you don't want those wild bears to roam around because these things can be dangerous. What you do is you build farms and bring the bears into it. Now the bears are still alive. The bears are still roaming around, but now they're contained in farms. So the bears are still moving around living, and human beings are still living around. You're engaged. So declining something, we should decline things. You can't just get into everything. If you come from work and you're tired, and some of your friends want to go to a pub, you just say, no man, I'm tired. I can't go to the pub now. But this thing, you don't say no, I'm not coming. You're gonna say, dudes, next time, I'm tired now. By doing that, you stay engaged with those people. You still decline what they want, but you're still engaged with them. But if you just say no or you don't answer them, you're actually violating them because now you don't even consider them able to worth any response. So resistance is when you refuse reality. You're giving a silent treatment to reality. Something happens, it's not in line with what you want. You're so focused on one thing you want, and because the one thing you want does not happen, you just say, I don't want to deal with this. It doesn't exist. That's a toxic behavior. But it's a toxic behavior that's quite common amongst human beings, and to some extent, we even glorify and embrace it. Just learn to say no. Have boundaries. You have your life. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. We glorify this toxic resistance against reality instead of engaging in life and declining certain things. You can decline anything in life as long as you can account for it and you're fully engaged in the community. If you're fully engaged in the community, you can decline anything, whether it's sexual advances, whether it's work pressure, or people just want to visit your home. You can decline a lot of things as long as you stay fully engaged. If you don't stay engaged in the community, you're actually in resistance. You're actually giving a silent treatment to others because you have this one tiny thing you're so obsessed with and it doesn't happen, then you go off with everything else. That is a toxic narcissistic trait. Simple as that. All right? So again, we human beings are designed to be engaged. And by the way, let's go back to this example. There's an island, wild bears over here, and it's raining. It's one island, one ecosystem. So you denying bears over here, saying no to them, doesn't mean the bears go away. It means you're dumb for not engaging the situation properly. And does it happen often in our lives that we tend to say no, we don't want to do with this, we want to be left alone? The moment you have this no, a be left alone attitude, you're already turning toxic. Simple as that. You should decline things. Okay, so if someone is behaving badly, you decline the bad behavior, but then you force better behavior. That's what you do. You're not going to say, man, I don't like this behavior. F you, you don't exist. Or you attack someone for feeling hurt. That is toxic. That's what a lot of people do. Punishment is toxic. Let me write this down. This is punishment. All right? And punishment is toxic. This is a redirection. Instead of operating in redirections, enforcing better, we tend to explode on what's wrong. Why? Because we have this focus. We want to be left alone and be at ease in our little cave of ease. And any disrupt the cave of ease, we attack. So we are at war with reality and everyone else because of our little ease of cave of ease that we want to protect. Anyone that disrupts this, we explode on them. That's the stupidity of fallen mankind. Oh, and by the way, yesterday I was in Rotterdam with fellow believers watching one of the Batman movies. I believe it was called, it was a Dark Knight. Yes, it was a Dark Knight. It also shows how Two-Face, this fictional character, came into being. It was a long movie. And I watched it before one time. But in that movie, the Joker, the character Joker, said something remarkable. Or actually something quite insightful. The Joker said that a lot of people out here are so pathetic trying to control everything. Chaos, he actually said that chaos is actually reality, and we just have to learn to deal with it. Well, a lot of human beings, they want control. They want a little cave of ease. You have the whole island with all these opportunities and abilities, but they want to relocate to only one small cave of ease, and they want to fight everything else from intruding their ease. And they call this privacy, boundaries, personal space, whatever you want to call it. It's just a space of escapism. That's all it is. And we glorify this resistance, the saying no, we decided to we glorify to something great. Punishment is toxic. Listen, let's say a murder happens. Someone killed another individual. Let's take an extreme example. Someone killed another individual. Question, put that individual in prison, is it going to give back life to one that was killed? No. If you decide, okay, you killed someone, then we're going to kill you, is this going to bring back the individual that was murdered? No. Is killing the other individual going to stop other people from being killed in the future? No. So why do we do punishment then? Because it makes us feel relief. We feel hurt, and I want to offload our hurt feelings just to be at ease. That's punishment. And we institutionalize punishment through the prison system, through the legal system. We even put threats on the public, especially young people, to behave according to the laws or else. we institutionalize this toxic resistance that we're so obsessed with as fallen mankind. That's what we do. Let's say someone murdered another individual. Okay, let's go back to the first murder that happened in human history. Okay, hold on. Let me put this over here. I hope you can see me now. Okay, let's go to the first murder that happened in human history. Cain killing Abel. Okay, now Cain killed Abel due to sexual insecurity within himself, because we're sexual beings. Our sex drive, as men, our sex drive is our life source. Now, Cain did not use his life source properly, because Cain and Abel had sisters. He had many sisters, so they had wives. You get me? So he had Cain, Abel, and he had many sisters also. They're not mentioned right in Genesis, but he had sisters also. So what happened was you had the human family, Adam, Eve, their many daughters, and Cain and Abel. Okay? So both Cain and Abel had sexual options because you had sisters all around there. You know what I mean? And they were close to professional, so the sisters were good looking also. And they had the whole earth at their disposal, the whole earth. So they had all these options on the earth. The whole earth was available to them. And most of the earth was a green rainforest to begin with. So you have Adam, Eve, their two sons, and I don't know whether this was 10, 15, how many daughters they had. Wow. 2 men, 2 young men, and many other females around. Wow. So that was a good situation. But Cain had this toxic resistance, this no, just want to be left alone thing. Okay, Cain's mindset was the earth is so big, the earth has all these challenges, and I also have a mortal body now because of my mom and dad messing up with that and father. So you know what? Why should I engage with all these risks and potential dangers? Let me just move into my little space of ease over here and preserve it. That's what Cain was doing, and that's the minds of worldly people. Abel, at the other hand, was more engaging with the risk in life. So Abel acted more masculine than Cain did. Cain became a bit effeminate. Now, I'm not saying that masculinity for a man means put yourself in danger. No. We should manage risks as human males, absolutely. But masculinity also means you admit that risks and dangers part of life, you need to learn to manage them. You can't avoid them, you need to manage them. Risk management is what you should do, not risk avoidance. That's for both males and females. Now, Cain became effeminate and dysfunctional sexually because he wasn't willing to engage fully with life as he's designed to do. Abel did. So Cain wanted to prove himself by giving something back to God. Abel followed the example, but Abel slaughtered some animals and gave it. Now, why did God favor Abel's sacrifice? Remember, God did not request a sacrifice from any of them. God didn't. God never requested a sacrifice from Cain nor Abel, nor any of the other human beings who were on the earth back then. Because God made plain he will make a sacrifice to redeem mankind. So God never told anyone, make a sacrifice so I can accept you. God didn't do that. God already accepted human species despite our fallen state. And he was already saying, okay, you guys are in a fallen state. I'm going to engage this situation by declining the sin and declining your fallen state, but I'm going to engage you as human species. Despite you being in a fallen state, I'm going to bring you back to a holy state. That's what Heavenly Father was doing. Heavenly Father didn't say no. Heavenly Father just, he declines the negative, but he still remain engaged with human species. That's what Heavenly Father was doing. Cain had a satanic attitude, just wanted to be left alone. So he wanted to pay God to shut God's mouth. That's what Cain was doing. Cain was thinking, I don't want all these challenges, Heavenly Father. I don't want to manage the earth. And yes, I have all those pretty sisters over here, but Lord, do I really have to engage sexually with them, having all those babies and filling the earth? Really, God, can't I just have 1 or 2 of the sisters and just have some fun with them and just be left alone over there with my farm? Why do you need a farm if the whole earth is like a green rainforest with fresh vegetables and fresh fruit growing everywhere? So that's a bit weird, okay? But and that shows you Cain was into escaping. Now, Abel was also born in fallen state. He also had escapism, but but Abel just realized, you know what, I need to be engaged. And the Heavenly Father honored Abel's attitude. That's why the Heavenly Father blessed and he even promoted Abel. Abel got power. Why? Because prosperity is sexual first, financial later. It's sexual first, financial later. Financial has to do with material circulation. So it's first sexual, then material. So it's first sexual, then financial. So Abel was operating as he should. This upset Cain. And the Heavenly Father warns Cain, leave this attitude behind because you're going to get in trouble. What did Cain do? Cain decides, you know what, I don't want to look at myself because he was resisting, he was saying no to what was going on. So now, because he was upset, because his cave of ease was disrupted, he was so intoxicated with heaviness, and this unrest became too much, and he exploded this unrest onto Abel by killing Abel. And when it happened, he also didn't want to deal with what he just done, killing the only other besides Adam and Eve. Abel was the only other man on the earth available as a sex partner. So he killed Abel. And he tried to deny it. What did God and Father do? The Heavenly Father asked him, where's your brother Abel? And he said, hey, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? He was denying responsibility. He was denying engagement. So the Heavenly Father said, listen, because you've done this, everywhere you go, you are a curse on the earth, and everywhere you go, you'll have misfortune coming out of the ground. You have misfortune everywhere you go. And Cain, instead of saying, Heavenly Father, you're right. I murdered a human being. What was I thinking? I should have listened to you and submitted. No, what did Cain do? Cain played the victim. Oh, this is so horrible for me. Now, everywhere I go, people are going to kill me. Well, the people that would kill him was talking about his sisters, maybe even Adam and Eve. You get me? But God says, no, they're not going to kill you because everyone kills you will be avenged sevenfold. So what God was saying is, Cain, I should terminate your life right now, but you know what? I'm going to let you live, but you're going to engage with the consequences of your rejection, which is you're going to have unrest haunting you all the days of your life. That's what God did. Now, with us as in human groups, it can be practical to have things like prison to contain dangerous people in it. They're actually quite physically dangerous. But we shouldn't have this attitude, you know what, if we fail as a community, I just would be in prison. It's over with. We continue. No, we should engage with reality and engage and admit our failures and improve as a community. That's what we should do. But do many people do that? No, they don't. They don't do that at all. They just want to be left alone. They want this little cave of ease. Now, before I continue, is all of this here that I've explained clear onto you? Let me know in the live chat. Let me know. All right, so let me see. Is this all clear to you? It's clear to Maria, it's clear to the rest. Let me know. Okay. Now let's go to this over here. I'm going to explain the 5 dimensions to you. It's very simple. The first dimension is your focus. What are you focused upon? The second dimension is the direction. Where is it heading towards? The third direction is what value does it have? What's the content? The fourth dimension is action, moving to get it done. The fifth dimension is embracing all of it as a union. Let me go through it one more time. The first dimension is your focus. What are you focused upon? Second dimension is what's the direction it's heading into. Third dimension, okay, you focus something, go in the direction, what's the content, what's the value in it? Fourth dimension is the action you take. Fifth dimension is you embrace all of it coming. Now, when you look at this, Cain was stuck between the third and fourth dimension, content and movement. Well, because his focus was wrong. His focus was, I want to be left alone and be at ease. And because of that, he looked for a way to be left alone, which was to have his own farm. Farming shouldn't even have been a thing by then because most of the earth was a rainforest. So what the heck? But anyway, his focus was wrong. He wanted to be left alone. So he looked for a way to be left alone by avoiding what he didn't want. And now he began to value the so-called ease he had. And now he took action to preserve the ease, which also meant killing the obstacle to his ease. When the Heavenly Father came with the fifth dimension, forced him to embrace the whole thing, he declined. He wanted to stay in the third and fourth. Being trapped in the third and fourth dimension psychologically is what the Bible calls sin. Sin is psychologically trapped in the third and fourth dimension. The first and second we all have. We all have a first and second dimension we operate in psychologically. But the third and fourth dimension should be a method to operate in holiness. Holiness is in full embracing life with all challenges and risks. Let me repeat this. Holiness is embracing life to the full with all the risks, challenges, and dangers. That's what holiness is. Holiness is full engagement in life. You can still decline things, but you never resist things. But Rashid, does the Bible say resist the devil, he will flee from you? That's culturally speaking. Resist the devil simply means you decline dealing with Satan's bullshit and instead you take action by doing God's will. And that's why Satan becomes relevant in your life. It doesn't literally mean go out there fighting Satan and be excited fighting him. Because when you fight Satan, you're engaging with Satan. Simple as that. When you fight something, you fight someone, you're engaging with them. So why should you engage someone you should be free from? All right? So understand. All of this is meant for you to operate in fullness of life. Now, before I continue further, is this here clear unto you? Because I'm going to give two examples about it, but before I continue, is it clear now about the 5 dimensions? Let me know. Is it clear? Let me see. Okay. Now, I'm drawing. Listen, here I have a 2-dimensional creature. Okay. You know what? Maybe I need to. You know what? I may have to bring this a bit closer to me. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to have to do this. Yes. So, don't worry, my kitchen. Something to clean the kitchen, but that will happen later today. So, okay. I'm going to give an example. Here you have Bob. Okay. Bob sees Lisa. Okay, this is Lisa, fine-looking woman. This is Bob, a construction worker. So Bob is a construction worker. And Lisa is a receptionist. Okay? Bob sees Lisa. So he has the first dimension, his focus. His focus is she's hot. I'm going to keep it plain over here. Okay? She is hot. Then the second dimension is the second dimension, direction. Second direction is I want her. Why? Because I want sex or whatever. Okay? So that's the focus. She's hot. He noticed her. Then he wants sex. He wants her. Okay? Now it's going to come the content. Content is, in his mind, is being with her sexually. That's the content. That's what he considers valuable. In the second dimension, all right, hold on. Can you all see this clearly? Okay, good. It's the first dimension, second dimension, third. Here comes the fourth. So in the first dimension, he sees this woman, Lisa, and thinks, "Whoa, she's hot." He goes in direction. I want her because I want to have sex with her. Third is he begins to value the idea of having sex with her. And now in the fourth dimension is the movement. Movement means asking her number, or approach her, or whatever. Most men stay at this level. That's where they remain. The content, they value being sexually with her, the image is going to be great. And then they want to make the movement. They're motivated to do it. Okay, this is all fine, all fine. Here's the fifth dimension. Possession. I don't mean demon possession over here. So if Bob sees Lisa, he has a focus. Oh man, she's hot, she's good looking, she's fine. Second, there's a direction. I want sex, I want her. Third, this is a valuable thing I'm willing to make effort for. He makes a movement, make effort, gets a number, all of that. Okay, but here it comes. Lisa is a receptionist, working 40 hours. Bob is a construction worker, only working maybe 24 hours. Okay? So Bob has more free time, spare time, than Lisa does. Lisa is often exhausted, and she has issues because she's exhausted. Bob often is at ease. So Bob seeing her at the third dimension, at the third state with the content, you should already realize, you know what? Okay, I need to deal with her issues too. I need to deal with her being tired often. I need to deal with that too. And she has relatives too. Someone brought her up. Has to deal with the whole thing. If he does that at the third dimension, goes into the movement, he's going to end up in the fifth dimension with her, which means he's possessing the whole situation. But a lot of men don't want to go over here. They want to stay at the third and the fourth. Well, it should be, okay, you focus, Bob, you want her, she's hot, you want to make direction, but okay, hold on. Think about the final stage. You have to deal with all the issues coming with her. Okay, you're willing to then make your movement and operate like this. That's how it should be. Now, a lot of people, okay, forget about Lisa. Maybe it's not a woman. Maybe it's a plot of land. Maybe Bob says, oh, there's a plot of land over there. I want that land. He has a focus. There's a plot of land over there. I want it. Okay? Man makes a direction. If this is a plot of land in Mexico, I may have to move to Mexico. Okay. Then you think, you know what? Move to Mexico may be worth it. I need to learn Spanish. All that's against the move. 4 dimension to learn Spanish, put some money aside just to go there and get the plot of land. But here's the issue. Once you have the plot of land, you have to pay taxes on it. You also have to cultivate, you have to maintain it. So he will have to possess the whole situation. He has to. What happens to most human beings? Once it comes down to this, they decline. They say, no, I don't want this. Now they go into the punishment mode. Now they feel scammed. Now they feel this and this. Why? Because their focus is wrong. So in life, before you make the movement, make sure your focus is correct. So, because movement cannot be undone. If you focus on something or someone, and you decide you develop an imagination direction in your mind, and you begin to value it, you can still say, okay, I'm not going to do this and stop. Once you make the movement, there's no turning back. Once you make the movement, it's a done deal. You now have to deal with, you have to possess the whole situation. And a lot of human beings don't want to do this. Do you follow me now? So, this life is called time bending. Because remember, we don't own anything because we're not God. God owns everything. We only have possessions in life. So that means that every time there's a focus that's wrong, it means you're operating in negativity. Okay. Let me give you another example. Okay. Let's say now you walk down the street. Okay. You see a criminal pointing a gun at you. So that's your focus. You see a criminal with a gun at you. You see danger. You see the direction. If the criminal pulls the trigger, you're dead. So the content becomes, I need to avoid him shooting me. So I begin to move, complying with the one pointing gun at you. See how it goes? Everything starts with focus in life. But here's the issue. How did you end up in such a situation? Didn't you pick up warning signals in your body before you went outside? If your focus is just want to be left alone, doing whatever you want to do, then you don't notice reality around you. If you don't notice reality around you, you can't engage things. If you're not engaged in life because you're operating in a tunnel vision, that is going to be a problem. Simple as that. You follow me? Someone's calling now, but they have to wait because I'm doing a live stream now. I'm almost done with the live stream. So, can you all still hear me? Because I'm not going to decline the call because I mean lose hit during the live stream. Can you all hear me? Still hearing me? Let me know. Okay. Everything starts with focus. Look, a criminal wants to get money. He doesn't want to go to work to get the money because going to work is something human beings invented. Just like money is an invention of human beings. He thinks if money is relevant in daily life, why do I have to make so much effort for it? So what does the criminal do? He has to focus to get money easily. So he looks around him. Where can he take money from people? He knows, okay, if I want to take money from people, I need to have a something physical in the third dimension to use on them. So he gets the knife or he gets the gun with the bullets and now makes the movement. And then he gets the possession, he gets your money. You see how this goes? Fifth dimensional thinking is thinking in the rank of holiness. Now, the criminal is not holy, but the criminal at least thinks in a natural way towards holiness, embracing life. All right? Here's what I want you to understand. There's no such thing as saying no. That is emotional fighting you're doing. Saying no is emotional fighting. It will only bring you stress. Here's the thing. If you say no, you need to enforce your no with physical means. Because if you can't, let's say there's a field of grass somewhere. Anyone can walk on the field of grass whenever they want. Anyone. Then you have a guy saying, I want this field of grass for myself to be left alone over here. He tells everyone else, don't go to that plot of land because it's mine. I want to say, huh? It's a field of grass in nature. Do you own nature now, dude? Are you going to say to the animals not to come there too? People are going to laugh at him. But let's say he picks up a gun and points at people. His focus is, I want to be left alone on this plot of grass. I don't own the plot of grass. I don't. But I can force other human beings by using a threat to their physical well-being to comply with me. So he picks up a gun, points at people saying, I need to be left alone. So he points out at them, people end up complying. Now he possesses the plot of land. Then he builds a fence around saying, this is my property. That's how it goes. He doesn't own anything. He just has a possession of this thing that he now calls his property. That's all property works. But if everyone else has a proper focus, they would shut him down immediately, saying, hey, it's not going to happen. Simple as that. So understand this. There's no such thing as boundaries, ownership, nor saying no in reality. It doesn't exist. Those are things we invent as human beings. For example, okay, let me go up here. Hold on. Hold on. This is a creature that operates in a two-dimensional way. Maybe I can bring close like this. Yes. Okay. Let's say this is Bob. He thinks in a two-dimensional way. Let's say in his mind, he wants Lisa. Okay. And for some reason, he's now, let's say he went all the way to the fourth dimension. Lisa is there. He has a sexual grip over Lisa. But here's the issue. He's operating escapism. So a guy that operates in the fifth dimension who knows about the human sexual dynamic, he can easily use his psychic influence, and Lisa goes from him towards the guy called Jack, who has a more natural attitude to life. This one has a close attitude, me, leave me alone, which is toxic. This one is engaged. Okay? Lisa was psychologically trapped by Bob over here to be in his little psychic box. He thinks she's mine. Jack comes by and she goes over there. Simple as that. Did he steal her from him? No. Because she was never his to begin with. It was a false claim. Now Jack has possession of the situation. and of Lisa. That's how it goes. So there is no such thing as privacy or personal space or any of that. But it's something a lot of people don't want to accept. And by the way, the only one that owns us sexually is Heavenly Father. He's Lord. Okay? Just understand that. Saying no, privacy, boundaries, those things don't exist. Those are emotional fighting that we endorse. That's all it is. And by the way, all that emotional fighting will put a lot of strain on your life. All that movement will exhaust you. So you have to avoid all these exhausting movements by operating fully in the fifth dimension. That's how you bend time. So let's say Bob sees Lisa, okay? His focus should be okay. It's a pretty woman. She's fine, good looking. The rest should be okay. I want her. Let me check if she's sexually available. If she is, okay, then I can go to the content. If she's not, I may have to change my way. Maybe I can't be her lover, I can be her brother figure. Okay, so he needs to adapt the situation. And when doing the direction situation, think, okay, what is she? Did she have previous partners? Did she went through a heartbreak? What happened? He needs to do his investigation. Then it goes to the third dimension, which is okay, this is what Lisa is, these are her issues, this is what I have to deal with. No, it's going to be worth it. This is how I'm going to do it. And then he makes a movement proposing a sexual union with her, and they both agree to a sexual union, and they both set down the terms, and then they both possess the situation and both happy. That's how it should be. If Bob would do this, all this dating, all this domestic violence, all this conflict, and all those arguments would never happen. So Bob, by operating in the fifth dimension, he bypassed a lot. He bypassed months of struggling. And let's say after 2 or 3 weeks, Lisa decides, you know what, maybe this is not the best thing, Bob. Bob says, okay, don't worry, you can move on. I still love you. I still look after you as a brother figure. Fine. Is this happening in the world? No. When it comes to sexuality, it's first, oh, I want to do her. Man, I need to get her number. I need to go, let's go to a hotel room. Or oh, we're in church, let's do dating. Let's go to the pastor. They do all of this based on folks is, man, I want to be at peace. They don't embrace life to the full, all that comes with it. And they end up being stuck with all type of conflict and misfortune over here. Time is man-made. God made day and night. There are natural durations on the earth. But a lot of our natural durations are filled with pollution. Why? Because we don't operate like this. You have to take possession. You have to embrace the full situation. That's what you ought to do. All right? So, people that operate in the fifth dimension, maybe you purchase a new car and they want to drive your car. Now, if they just use the physical content and break into your car, they can go to prison. Say you robbed my car. Or they can ask you, can I borrow your car? You can decline, saying, I don't want you to borrow my car. What they also can do is meditate cyclically on you, and before you know it, you want the car anymore. You don't want to get rid of the car. And then say, can I take the car? Then okay, it's a cheap price, take the car. And now they have the car. And then you realize, why did I sell the car? Why did I do that? They use their psychic leverage on you to get the car. They want the content, the car, but they thought in the fifth dimension how to get it the best way, and they bypassed prison time, they bypassed negotiating with you, they bypassed all of that. You get me now? Or let's say now that someone wants to, I don't know, someone wants to become rich in somewhere, or they want to become rich and wealthy. Instead, listen, if they're a criminal, their focus is to get it from other people. If they operate in the fifth dimension, they'll make others give it to them. That's how it goes. Operate in the fifth dimension, you bypass a lot of conflict in the third and fourth dimension. But most human beings are stuck in this. So do you understand now how important it is to know your sexual design as a human being? Do you understand this? All right? So, is this here clear onto you? Okay? to then ask, so is that what narcissists do? Well, narcissists, they tend to operate in the fifth dimensional thinking from time to time. And that's how they're able to get away with a lot of stuff. Most human beings stay in the third and fourth dimension. This is my life, my property, what doesn't belong to you, don't touch, blah, blah, blah. Listen, people will operate in the fifth dimension continuously. You can be in your own house and they end up kicking you out of your own house without using physical violence on you. They end up evicting you from your own house and then they take the house from you. Or you can have a pretty wife or a pretty girl. You can have a beautiful wife or you can have a handsome husband and they end up taking the husband away from you, taking husband or wife away from you. Listen, if up in fifth dimension, you know when things work, because you engage the situation, you know what to do best to get the outcome you want. Simple as that. There are even unbelievers doing this. There are even evil people from time to time doing this. Now, if people cannot operate in fifth dimension for long because they're all about escaping, but why aren't the believers operating in the fifth dimension? We are trapped. We are trapped out in the third and fourth dimension. As believers, we need to operate in the fifth dimension permanently, which is holiness, fully embracing life. So again, we decline things, but we don't resist by saying no. We decline things, but we remain engaged. Declining but remain engaged is how we ought to be. That's a redirection. If we say no and we hold on to a tunnel vision, we end up exploding on people when we don't have our way. That's punishment. So we have to unlearn punishment, which is toxic, based on a tunnel vision of escapism, which is fear-based and operate in full engagement of life, which means redirecting when we decline things. You can decline something and say, go to something else. So when Jesus said, let your yes be yes and your no be no, Jesus was actually saying, leave this behind. Yes and no has to do with the silent treatment we want to escape. He said, let your yes be yes and your no be no. So leave it behind. Operate in God's yes and amen towards you. Simple as that. All right. Now, I've come to the end of this live stream. So I'm going to give you all the time now to ask some questions. Please ask questions now. Hold on, let me pick up the tablet. So now I can check this out. Okay, I have the tablet in front of me now. So what are your questions? Let me know. Okay, I'll wait for 2 minutes. If I get no questions in 2 minutes, I'll close down the live stream. God is good. Let me see back here. Okay, I'll just wait 1 more minute. So there's no such thing as theft, boundaries, ownership, and saying no. There's no such thing. There is, but Rashid, can't you actually rob people by withholding something good from them? That exists. If you frustrate something good from someone without any good reason, or if you hinder someone from getting any better, that is theft. So theft exists in the sense that when you withhold something good from someone without any good reason, or you hinder better from having an individual, that's theft. That's what theft all comes down to. Now, I'm not talking about theft according to human laws, about taking a physical object that, so, quote unquote, doesn't belong to you. That's something physical and legal. I don't talk about that. I talk about from a spiritual, real life point of view. Theft simply means you withhold something good from someone without any good reason, or you prevent bad from happening to someone. Okay, someone asked how to recognize you're stuck in the third, fourth dimension. Anytime anytime you're exhausted long term, anytime you're exhausted or drained long term, anytime you keep complaining over and over again, you're stuck in the third and fourth dimension. Simple as that. In the fifth dimension, you embrace the whole situation and say, okay, I'm in a situation, it's not a happy situation, but what can I do about it? And I'm happy, motivated to do anything about it. That's the fifth dimension. Okay, Feline asks, can you give us a few more examples how unbelievers take advantage of believers operating in the fifth dimension? Okay, it goes like this. Unbelievers can pick up you have some leverage as a believer. They can't take away the leverage from you, but they can make it hard on you to operate in that leverage. That's what they do with retaliation and persecution. So an unbeliever may have a proper focus seeing, for example, let's use Feline as an example. Feline, there may be a female unbeliever nearby who can't stand you being so at ease all the time. So what she does is think, you know what? This Feline, Feline has children to look after, or Feline has been with a man for a while. So okay, Feline has been with a man for a while, so she's a bit sexually hindered. She's a bit sexual angular. She has been with a man for a while. So let me trick a man to be with her sexually. That's going to exhaust her. Then I keep Feline trapped in the fourth dimension. She'll keep on moving back and forth sexually with this man, and years of life go by. That's how unbelievers can do it. They look at you, look at the whole situation around you, and then check what can I do to keep you there in that situation. That's what they do. And this falls in line with Grayson's question. Grayson asks, I'd like to know how to make strangers stop bothering using the fifth dimension. Listen, Grace, your question shows you're already in escapism. You're already in resistance, saying no. Engage. You decline what goes on, but you fully engage the situation. Your question, Grace, reveals that your focus is wrong. With the wrong focus, you will always end up the wrong way. Stop thinking, oh, how do people stop bothering me, as if you're entitled to be left alone on earth. No, you have the obligation to engage life. The idea I want to be left alone, leave alone, is a form of narcissistic entitlement. You don't have the right to be left alone. You do have a right to be considered as a human being. You do have that right. You do have the right to be considered and valued, but you don't have the right to be left alone because you're on the earth where we all live, and you have the obligation to engage in a constructive, beneficial way towards yourself and other people. Simple as that. So change your focus, Grayson. Simple as that. If you regret something, that means you're holding on to a focus you need to let go of. If you regret something because you wish it was better, then change your focus and deal with it better now. Simple as that. Another way unbelievers take advantage of believers using the fifth dimension. They keep telling believers, I thought you're a Christian. I thought you were a believer. They keep making you feel like you are failing them. By you think you're failing the unbelievers, you're stuck now in regret and self-condemnation, hurting yourself, thinking, what am I doing wrong? And you end up in a movement that's going to exhaust you. And now you miss out on good things in life because you can't take possession of the situation. So beware with people that want to trap you in a loop of time. Beware of that. So you bend time, you bypass a lot of trouble, distractions, and a lot of misfortune by just being fully engaged in life. And there's a difference between a distraction and intervention. A distraction is when you want to be left alone and you're exhausted, or you're going through a bad situation and just want it to be over with. If then relief comes, you won't look any further. A distraction is when unrest comes packaged as a solution. An interventionist is when the Heavenly Father or someone else shuts down a bad situation from happening to you. Okay, let's say Feline has this female this female co-worker keeps calling her all the time, even after 10 p.m. Suddenly she thinks, lady, stop calling me like that. Why keep calling me over and over again? What's wrong with you? Now, because this Feline ends up exhausted, thinking, my goodness, I've been talking on the phone with this woman for long. What the heck? Next day at work, people smile at her. And Feline thinks, people have been smiling at me for a while. This what goes on. The people at Feline's workplace are narcissists, most of them. They can't stand Feline being in a happy mood. And they were about to explode against Feline. But now, this other woman picked up there was danger with Feline. She kept calling Feline. Now, she doesn't know what the danger is, but this other woman kept picking up danger with Feline. She kept calling Feline over and over again. Now, this exhausted Feline. But because Feline was exhausted at work, she looked exhausted. People felt, we are better off than Feline because look at how exhausted she is. And now Feline avoided being trashed upon at work, going through a mental breakdown and all of that. In this case, this woman calling you all the time, it was something pleasant. You were upset, thinking, leave me alone. Stop calling me like that. It was an intervention on your behalf. It's later realized, whoa, it was an intervention. Okay? A distraction would be, my goodness, this woman keeps calling me. And someone tells you, man, put some boundaries, block her number, blah, blah, blah. And now you block the number, you feel at ease. Now you have a bond with an individual who told you to enforce boundaries. So now you're more open to what individual has to say. And now that individual begins to teach you, influence you in many things going to exhaust you in the long run. Now that's distraction. Listen, the fact alone you encounter someone that's so burdensome towards you shows you were not in a proper focus. Learn to be in a proper focus every morning. You have to be ahead of things. Too often we encounter bad things and I want to deal with it. No, you have to be ahead of bad things. This is what Walk by Faith is all about, being ahead of things. All right? Andy, stop crying over spoiled milk. You're going to get the milk back in the can anyway. Learn to deal with the fact that the milk is spilled. Spilled, I mean. Um, I was reading Genesis Day, and am I right or wrong? I mean, what do you mean with that question, Suzanne? So, understand, learn to have a proper focus every morning. If you have a proper focus every morning and you operate in the fifth dimension, it's going to be you're going to bypass a lot of difficulties. You're bending time, you're getting done very quickly without having to use a deadline or any of those restrictions of the world. All right? Simple as that. God is good. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I don't see what you meant, Suzanne. Yes, that's how they get away with evil stuff, learn a lot of things. Thank you. Let me go further. Punishment is toxic. Blessings, Shabbat day, joy to all. Okay, you're correct. That the Sabbath day is an installment by the Heavenly Father. All that is good. True. Hmm. So understand, you have to engage life. You can decline things while still remain engaged. Resistance, saying no, is a silent treatment which is toxic and eventually end up exploding someone. That's punishment. We should unlearn that. Amen. Mm, good. You're correct, Suzanne. Well, that's it for now. Thank you all for being here. Keep on agreeing with Christ. And hold on. Wait. There's another question came up. My bad. Uh, it's good I saw this right on time. Or maybe it's not a question like Feline said, so let me just check it out very quickly. I've really been challenged lately with hindrance and being focused and staying ahead. Seems like I've been taken advantage of by no good people who are close seeking to steal my blessing. Yes, they are. Remember, theft is when you withhold something good from someone without any good reason, or when you hinder bad from happening to someone. That's theft. All right? So recognize the thieves that are coming to your lives. It's often not what it appears. Sometimes we embrace the thieves coming to our lives because we just want to be left alone. Beware of that. Anyway, keep on. Uh, where Adam and Eve turned out of the Garden of Eden for no, they weren't turned away out of the Garden of Eden for sex. They were turned out of the Garden of Eden because they were not stable anymore. Just to operate with God's full strength. That's why. And there was a sexual motive from Adam, namely trying to fix his wife by his own. There was a sexual motive of Adam that led to the fall of man. That's true. But it wasn't sex that got him kicked out. All right. Anyway, keep on agreeing with Christ. Be at peace, and I'll see you next time. God is good.